Hello YouTube. The last review I did was of the Garmin Forerunner 920 XT, which I regard as massive overkill for a sporting device. My favourite device is definitely, as of right now, 2015, the Forerunner 620 from Garmin, which offers fitness and GPS and very good metrics on a display. But at half that price you have the Polar M400, and even that offers smart coaching. Now here's the key thing: you have the training metrics and coaching. Your elite African athletes training in Boulder, Colorado, where I used to live like 20 years ago. This is really good stuff here. Lucky swines. See, get fed, trained, motivated. But can a watch do this? Can a watch approximate this level of feedback? Well, let's see. The Suunto is very well specified, at least on paper, and this is the key thing. This is going to be the core of the review. It works with a smartphone. Well, God help us. Does it need a smartphone? Notifications on the watch. Smartphone notifications when you're training. Optimize your performance. Would you need to look at a graph when you are training? Check your recovery. Note the disclaimer. First beat is at the bottom there on that page. This would by its very nature make me cynical, not least because I've used numerous devices where, you know, there's this level of dependence. I don't want dependence. You know, I was prepared to approach this device with an open mind, so I went to one of my friends at his Ash that run Logic in the city centre, and he's got a reasonable selection of stuff there. He's even got a cafe. So shoes, supplements there, including the power bars, and definitely a good selection of watches. So thanks to Ash for the loan there for about 3 weeks of the Suunto Ambit 3 run. Now let's see exactly what is physically inside the box. So here we go, and thanks to Ash again. This is a test review unit from just up the road, and so taking the watch out of the box for the first time. The thing is big and chunky, but it doesn't impose on the wrist. Can you see how it's flat at the back? Nice looking strap. Bluetooth symbolism there, very prominent. 5 buttons, metal. Very good construction, by the way. Nice bezel covering the mineral glass there. 128 by 128 monochrome display. Now in direct competition there with the Garmin Forerunner 620, which I've had for the past year. You see that's 180 by 180 display. Can you see how that is, you know, much clearer defined? And then the Timex Global Trend from 2010, enormous. That 84 grams, but still wearable as a day-to-day watch. Wearing all 3 now. Doesn't that look strange? 620 on the left there. Very flat, light, 44 grams featherweight. 72 grams for the Suunto, wearable with a very prominent, incidentally, GPS unit at the front, which I'm going to be explaining shortly. Here's another, if you like, fairer way of looking at the devices side by side. Alright, so in European terms, the Garmin is €100 more. You get a lot more for your money, by the way. But what we're talking about here is usable athletic functionality. So the Suunto has a hell of a lot more, for example, in terms of outdoor functionality. With the spacing on the straps here, they're more or less equal. I actually like them both. The Garmin is easier to wear, however. Continuing on with the unboxing, so this is more or less exactly what you get when you buy the thing. You got the Bluetooth strap, no plug. Okay, they used to have the plugs with like the Garmin 610 and the 910 XT, no longer. This is very common actually. You get the watch, the heart rate strap if that's how you bought the thing, and then the USB cable, and that's going to be it. And you've got the quick start manual on here, is an international kind of warranty here in various European languages, and quick start manual, which you're probably only going to look at once. Reasonably informative. This is the same as with the Quest, which is that it's one giant bit of paper. Don't necessarily like it, but then, you know, it's apples and oranges. You're only going to be looking at the thing once or twice. I absolutely implore people with devices that are this complicated to learn as you go. You look at the basic stuff, go for a run, and come back and then look at the options within the device. Now with the charging, It took me like let's see, 40 minutes to go from like 73% to 100%, but I was hanging around and hanging around and hanging around until it finally got to 100%, as you can see there, and I deliberately kept the camera on it. Sounds a bit anal, doesn't it? But the weird thing is that the software seems to be holding this watch back, and this will become more prominent as we go further into the review, which is important. So here's the day-to-day operation of the watch. Right, that lower left button, let's start with that, controls what data you're going to see on the watch, so charging, seconds, date. But it's a pity that you have to press buttons, isn't it, just to see this stuff. And then with the upper right button there, you have only 3 options to choose from. Now this will decide what and how much of what you're going to see with that one button, with the watch, you see. So you've got activities and then stopwatch and countdown, which can be useful, I think. And then there's an example of what you can see with the recovery time, and that's straight from the watch display, so that is useful. And now we're back to the time display. Going further there, so you've got displays, that's what I just altered there, and then the exercise and logbook. The logbook is literally a diary of what you've done, gives you the recovery time in terms of hours beforehand, and then you have a whole list of what you've done there. With exercise, this is the main feature really of the whole watch, and you have the pre-formed ones as well as ones which you can customize, but you do this through Movescount, movescount.com, which is the app that you have to log into in order to customize just every aspect of this watch. And what you're then doing, and what I'm doing there, is defining a shortcut where when I press that button again and hold it, I go straight to the workout. I go straight to trail running. But as you can see there, it doesn't name it as trail running. It's then getting into the mode where I'm literally ready to start for heart rate and GPS. And then there I am. You see why I pressed the button to bypass the settings. But of course in real terms you are going to be setting the HR as well as the GPS. Those are the ascent metrics there. All of this is customizable, but only through Movescount. You can see how, as before, and I'm pointing at that, you got the page numbers there, so different screens, all of which are customizable, so between 1 and 3 data fields. Incidentally, if one's empty, then it's simply empty. It's not filled in by the others, which is annoying. Now, this is interesting. If you hold and press, and I actually like that kind of interface, you've got the options within the exercise mode. First of all, here's the navigation part. You can see routes, logbook, find back. You see what we're talking about? This is Suunto's outdoor credentials, and these are way beyond what you'll find with Garmin. Okay, now here's activate, where you have the option within the watch, thankfully, to customize some of the stuff, or to pause and auto scroll, for example, which I'm going to do right here. But it's not the same as it all being customizable within the device, and this is disappointing. I don't like the idea that I have to go back to a computer and be online as well in order to change things. But regardless, we're going to do that for the exercise that we're going to customize. One aspect of the Suunto that I do like is the interface where you can press and hold and access those things which you just don't need to do that often. Now, here are the profile metrics which you will need to do in order to set the watch up for heart rate based calorie computation and VO2 max, etc. Here are some aspects of the personal setting of the watch. Can you see there where you have the up down arrows, and then where, for example, you have a button lock? I like this aspect because again it makes the watch easier to use. Also where you can press and hold the button just to get right back to the standard interface. Now let's have a quick look at the alarm setting here. The light comes on, as you can see, obviously, and it's nice and loud. A snooze feature as well, but I have something that I have to say here. There's no vibrate function. This is infuriating. Suunto missed it out. There's a hell of a lot going on inside the watch, but no vibrate mode, and it's a major omission. I'm so used to that on my 620, I really love it. But the alarm here is good quality, and it's an outdoor kind of alarm, isn't it? At this point also, let's talk about one other aspect physically, which is where you can invert the display. Useful but not essential. White on black. Does it mean much to me? Not really. The light though is very, very nice. It's as bright as on the Garmin Forerunner 620. It's good, it's fantastic. Does it need to be better? No, because it works. That's it. And there are your menu options. You get white on black displays with certain aspects of the Garmin 620 display as well, but not so that it's customizable. Why would I want to change it? Black and white works fine with me. That's all for now, chaps. Thanks for watching. In part 2 we're going to see various aspects of the watch in operation, including the cadence and built-in accelerometer, sending the heart rate even while swimming to the watch, and the idea of the use of apps within Movescount, which I didn't necessarily like, including even the ability to customize the code. See you then, hopefully. Thanks.